book on them was that they might self-destruct. If what happened to you guys happened to them in games 2 and 4, that's what people would have said, self-destruct.
Right. I think, we heard and knew of the book about them self-destructing, and I guess when we went down in the final minutes, we kind of took it for granted, and they actually played extremely well down the stretch, and we were the ones who self-destructed, or either relaxed or wherever we were looking.
Do you worry that you've let them get into this position? Now it's a best 2 out of 3, whereas the cliche says anything can happen. You worry that this thing might slip away?
It's a concern. I wouldn't say a worry, but it's a concern that we must face and must utilize that concern to a point where we, energize from it and play a lot better and play like our backs are to the wall, because any breaks that this team can get could hurt you in the long run, which they've gotten quite a few breaks up to this point. And any life in a situation like this could energize a team.
Have you got enough left to carry this team if you have to carry them?
I hope I don't have to, but I'm the type of player that I'm going to leave everything that I have on the court, and hopefully that's enough. I feel that other players on this team have a sense of pride, and hopefully that's going to be shown in the play.
You think you played too many minutes this year? Your minutes went up for the first time in 4 years. You played a lot of minutes even in games where your team was comfortably ahead. Is it catching up?
I don't think it's really my minutes. It's more or less the productivity from other players. I've played heavy minutes, and I think the more productivity that we get from other players, I can get more minutes. And Phil looked at every moment possible to get me more minutes, but he felt that, with my presence out there, we were really reassured of a game, or winning a game, because of lack of productivity from other players.
So you're saying it's not just total minutes, it's how tough those minutes are and how extreme the demands are upon you as an individual.
Right, that's true.
Do you take this thing with Clyde Drexler seriously? Does that give you a little spur? Here's the next challenger, and you got to meet him at high noon on Main Street?
That's exactly the way I take it, as a challenge. I'm a competitor, and I need something to drive me, in a sense. And every game this season, I felt that someone was trying to take something away from me personally. So that was my motivation to step on the basketball court and compete. Right now, with all the media hype of Clyde Drexler and myself, that's the competition that I need to keep raising my game or elevating my game to the point where I don't think that I'm tired. I don't want to be tired. I want to play.
You told me earlier that the Knicks series had a lot of trash talk in it. How much in this series? What's the atmosphere on the court in this series?
It's an arrogance between both teams. Not much said, but you can feel the arrogance from both teams. Even with Clyde and the competition that he and I have, it's some compliments passed between the both of us. But it's a type of arrogance that, God, that was a great move, but I don't want to tell you that. But I got to tell you because it was a great move. That's the type of arrogance that's passed between the two teams.
How do you tell them? With a look, or do you say something?
No, I pat him on his leg or his butt, or I would say something, or he will say something to me. First game when I was shooting all those jump shots, he asked me, "Well, are you going to miss any?" I said, "I missed quite a few already. I don't want to miss any more." That's the type of conversation that he and I have, but it's a lot of respect between the both of us.
Okay, and coming up next, the second part of this conversation with Michael Jordan. The Bulls lead it 66-50.
On this year, with its controversies, the White House and Horace Grant, and then the book and the golf controversy and the occasional criticism mixed in along with the praise, you have a new perspective on it?
Well, I mean, if we win and when we win, it would be a pretty personal gratification year for me. It caps off that type of a year with all the adversities that I had to deal with individually, and the support of my team, which really was not affected by it at all. We really contributed and played well even through all the adversities. It would be something to reminisce and yet be happy that it ended the way that we wanted to end. And from a personal gratification, it would certainly give me an uplifting confidence going into the next season.
Would it be more a relief than an exhilaration?
Certainly. That finally this tough year that I encountered is finally over, and it's over because we won a championship, and that it was one of those years that I matured and probably improved as a player. But in life, in general, I matured quite a bit, and I'm glad I went through the lesson. I'm glad it's over with. Now let's move on in my life.
Do you worry about next season? Long grind this year, then the Olympics, which is a once-in-a-lifetime thing for you. Actually, twice in a lifetime, but once as an NBA player, and then such a short break, and then right back at it again, and always as a marked man.
My concerns is for next season, but I think what's going to overcome that concern is it's an opportunity to get to know so many great athletes that I compete against all year long in a social atmosphere. That's what I treat the Olympics as. It's still going to be a vacation. I know it's very competitive, and it's us against the world or whatever, but I think the talent that's on that team can relax and have a good time and still win. But mentally, I will be a little tired. Hopefully, once I sit down with Jerry Reinsdorf and the organization, that I won't be asked to come back so rapidly and so fast for next season, that I will be given some time to take my mind away from basketball and relax.
Do you ever stand outside yourself and say, whoa, how did I do that? Or, yeah, if I was up in the stands, I'd jump up on that one.
I do, but I don't do it in that atmosphere. I do it in the sense that I look at myself from a personal standpoint. Are you doing the right things? Or is everybody going to be happy with what you do? Or do you do it just because you know that's the right thing to do? Or what will your kids think in the future? Basketball-wise, I still surprise myself. Yeah, I make moves that people have to be excited about because I'm excited once I see it over again. But from a personal standpoint, I look at myself very critically.